What is going on, guys? We're back again with another video. Today is Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. We are finally back with another video. It has been a horrifically slow just last week. I've just been very back and forth. I'll bring up the calendar to show you guys the evals. It's just been so back and forth. It was 2 break evens, no trade, no trade, 2 break evens, a win and a loss today. So very back and forth in terms of my P&L calendar. Hence why I haven't been making the videos. Just I don't really feel like there's a need to recap like all the break even trades, but in all honesty, I'm kind of getting bored of not posting. So I was like, whatever, I'll just start tossing in the break even trades. But yeah, so like I said, very very back and forth in terms of my P&L calendar on these evals. I can't get 2 clean days of PA. I really just need 2 days, and I feel like I can't get them. So we'll see. Maybe end of the week this week shapes up to be something good. We'll see. I know we've got unemployment claims tomorrow, and then this week just being in such a high time frame range has been super tricky. It's been causing a lot of back and forth and trade frequency, win rate, this, that, the other. But this range is just something else. So the fact that we're finally getting movement out of it is super promising. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll go ahead and jump into what I was seeing coming into the day. I took one loss, 1 win, pretty much seconds apart from each other, but both were A+ setups. I would take both of them 10 out of 10 times, and we'll get into it. So coming into the day, the first thing that I noticed was that we had flipped above the new week opening gap. So we were already above the new week opening gap, and we had already swept out buy side. So mechanically speaking, I was telling myself, okay, I could see a return back lower, either into this low resistance, into this low resistance, into this big wick down here, the unfilled 4-hour sell side, whatever it may have been. I was telling myself, after we swept out this buy side, I could see us maybe getting some move lower, even if it was into this unfilled hourly right here, something lower to continue higher. Now, at open, that's not what happened. We started just immediately exploding higher. So I had this hourly and 4-hour marked, this unfilled hourly and 4-hour. I had this marked because just like we had the bullish unfilled 4-hour below all the sell side, we had this bearish unfilled 4-hour above all the buy side. So I was kind of telling myself, like, where price is right now, if I use my ruler, we are 120 points from the bearish 4-hour, and we are 150 points from the bullish one. So kind of a tricky spot in price. Let me wait for price to tell me where it wants to go. And that's exactly what I did. So at open, price immediately explodes higher, right up into the first 15-minute gap, or the first 15-minute candle taps the hourly and the 4-hour. But at first I was telling myself, okay, this could be Judas. Like, we could be just running up higher this 4-hour, and then we're just going to knife lower. So the first thing I did was I notated this 15-minute gap. I just notated this as a condition. So whether we pumped into here and then got a move to the hourly gap, I would take it. Or if we just decided to rip through this, I would take this somewhere down here. Obviously that didn't happen. It didn't even get tapped. We just kept working higher, working higher, working higher, working higher until right before like 10 a.m. news. So, or not 10 a.m. news, but just right before 10 a.m. So 10 a.m., like coming into 10 a.m., like the 950 macro, my eyes were fully on this buy side up here, on this level of buy side, because price told me where it wanted to go. We inversed the hourly in the 4-hour. We flipped the NWOG. We have been consistently and strongly displacing higher. Price is clearly displacing up to this buy side up here. So after we had got like approaching the 950 macro at 10 a.m., price had already told me where it wants to go. So the only thing I'm going to do is try and move in favor with price. So price was clearly drawing towards this buy side up here. ES was drawing higher as well. We weren't going anywhere lower. Price clearly had no urge to go lower. So coming into 10 a.m., I noticed that we had this 5-minute gap, and this is where I kind of started to look for a trade. So I looked for this 5-minute gap right here. Let me go ahead and delete all these. This 5-minute right here, and I was honestly, at this point in time, I was okay with taking a 5-minute and then seeing if I could get expansion up to buy side up here. So we tap into the 5 minute gap, and you can see we actually do get an inversion. We get it up here. Now, my break even would have been this high, so I would have entered somewhere in here, gone break even at the high, targeting buy side up here. Obviously, we swept the high before I could even get an entry, so I just didn't take it. I decided it'd be better not to take it, and so I just waited. So this was at, let's see, 9:57. So this is 3 minutes before 10. I decide not to take it. One of the reasons being, obviously, we sweep out the high, but one of the bigger reasons I didn't take it is because we're 3 minutes before 10 a.m. and we're opening up this 15-minute fair value gap. So I'll go ahead and move the 5 minute to the 15 minute. So we're opening up this 15-minute gap and right before 10 a.m. So I know personally from my own data that when I take a trade right before 10 a.m., if my stop is at an unmitigated fair value gap, I typically get stopped out. So I decided to fade that move. I waited for the 15-minute gap to get tapped, which we did. We came down here. We swept out these generated lows right here, came down into the 15-minute gap, and then we didn't have any like 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes or anything. We had a 5 minute, but it was a better break-even point than entry by all means. So what I did was I went ahead and took this 30-second. So I entered on close. And like I said, we had the sweep of the lows. I faded the 5, waited for the 15. So now we have the 15-minute gap tap. We swept the generated lows. Our stop is now actually protected, not what we thought was protected. And then I was just targeting this buy side with the expectation of this continuing to deliver up to the buy side up here. So I take this, I enter on close right here. This was A+ to me. I thought this looked super good. I did get stopped out on this. But so I enter on close. I was planning to go break even at this internal high right here. I thought that this looked like a really good break even point. It was above a 1-to-1 too, so I definitely thought this was a good break even point. It was unfortunate, didn't really see any profit on this. So entered on close, price kind of just slow grinded to my stop. Then we got a big candle lower, stopped me out. Now, with where we were in price just being in the 15-minute gap and with these generated lows and with ES clearly looking like it wants to go higher also in the 15-minute gap, everything to me was still screaming bullish. So what I did was once I got stopped out of this, in all honesty, this wick was all I needed for me to see to continue to validate my idea. So I actually entered less than a minute after the trade, like get stopped out. I entered like less than a minute after on the 30-second CISD. So once we got this 30-second CISD, because we put in this new low, this becomes your change in the state right here. So once we got the change in the state, I went ahead and entered, and I put my stop at the internal low right here, because with the change in the state of delivery, if you are changing delivery, you do not need to revisit the low. Like that would be an invalidation of that change in the state. So I put my stop at the low right there, and then instead of targeting buy side, what I did was I didn't like the resistance. I didn't like the way ES was kind of moving like slowly, just getting up to equilibrium, while NQ looked like it wanted to start reaching up to buy side. So what I did was once we started aggressively moving up and we hit my break-even point, I just dragged my stops in profit to lock me up what I lost on the day, like kind of just secure a 1-to-1. And so I did. I once we hit this 5 minute, started working through it, I dragged my stop up to secure a 1-to-1 to make my loss back on the day. If I could have gotten more, great. If not, I'm flat on the day. I set myself up for tomorrow. I'm still within proximity of passing within 2 days. So that was a winning day within itself. Obviously, I didn't expect this to happen. It wasn't like I was like predicting this big dump. I just took this off because it made sense to me at the time. So I took it off, ended up 40 bucks on both of these evals. So I'm $1,800 away on each from passing. So ideally it's, 2 days, a day and a half, whatever, or 2.5 days, whatever, maybe 3 days, just get these done, get off of them, get on the XFA. So very happy with today. Frustrating week in terms of PA, just with how back and forth it's been. But, if you can endure the back and forth PA, you just need to find those clean weeks and really make sure you're on your A game and ready to execute. So not too much to talk about today. It was a really easy day just in terms of that these were super mechanical setups. We had the 30-second I was taking out of the 15 minute, and then we had the 30-second CISD that I don't normally take, but that wick was all I needed to see for me to continue to validate my idea. So definitely very happy with how today turned out, being even on the day. Hopefully we get these passed by the end of the week. If not, it is what it is, but I'm definitely going to start doing more like even break even days or break even trade recaps just so I have something more to kind of put out there and get out there to you guys. Hopefully, someone stumbles across this video and it's exactly what they needed to hear. But with that being said, that is all that I have for today. So I will go ahead and leave y'all with that, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.